State of Play has just finished, and we were met with over 60 minutes of gameplay. The two biggest games were obvious to me. That was Marvel's Wolverine and the final God of War reveal featuring Faye, Atreus's and Kratos' wife from the God of War series. Now, we'll talk about that one in a moment because I want to dive into Wolverine. This is the game I'm most excited for. It was rumored for weeks that this game was going to show up, and then they announced that it was here, and we got to see it in all its glory. We also find out that Jean Grey will appear in this game and be a playable character. This, to me, is the biggest winner. This game looked like the most put together. There were a plethora of other games in the State of Play, but this was the one that was most interesting. We saw Logan going around tracking down these Reavers. As you can see on the screen, the gameplay is very visceral and violent, which I was really hoping for in this game. As it goes on, you're going to see his costume get damaged, all the blood and everything spill out. This game is going to be phenomenal. Now, what I do think about this game was that it leaked massively, so it looks like they haven't changed the story one bit from the leaks, which obviously that was never going to be a possibility. So if you are interested in avoiding spoilers, I would advise to mute everything about this game possible, because the entire story has been leaked and you can know what is going to happen in this game. Personally, this gameplay confirms all of the leaks that are happening, especially with Jean Grey being in the game and a playable character. Now, what I do find interesting, since they didn't change the leaks, I wonder if that is going to affect the sales of this game. Moving on from Wolverine, we got a plethora of other games too. The new Silent Hill game looks very, very interesting. There was also this game called Ill, which was like this horror kind of John Carpenter's The Thing vibe. That looked very interesting. I'm personally not the biggest fan of horror games. They're all kind of slop-filled, in my opinion. There was also a plethora of fighting games that were revealed. We saw the Marvel fighting game. We saw a new Capcom-esque game. None of those also interesting me at all. So let's move into what you all want to hear about, which is the brand new God of War game that was also revealed during this State of Play. Now, it was 20 minutes of uninterrupted footage going from what seems like the very start of the game through the very end of what you might call the first level or the first scene. I'm not really sure, but you see this is a brand new world. We meet two gods which look like they're from the Japanese and Mayan mythology, which confirms that there are other mythologies in the God of War series. Now, I'll be 100% honest with you. We already know what this game is going to be about. She's going to be the one to go back in time and ring the bell. When in the first game, if you remember, Kratos and Atreus, like, who's ringing the bell? It's obviously going to be Faye. That was not answered in the sequel, God of War Ragnarok, which was a very weak game in my opinion. Now, what we will see is this. Since this is kind of like a brand new world, I'm interested to see Faye as a character. I did not like her in Ragnarok. I think she was extremely miscast, in my opinion. She doesn't look like big and intimidating. She's just kind of like this redhead girl. She's the main girl in Daredevil, if you've ever seen that show. And honestly and truthfully, I'm not too interested in this game. We'll see if it's cool, but unfortunately, they didn't show a lot of gameplay. It was a lot of cutscene footage and a lot of dialogue kind of setting up the story. I can definitely tell that this game was made before I'd say this modern resurgence of single-player games has come out, because it definitely kind of feels like a 2019, 2020-esque game. I'm not too interested to see how the story performs, but we'll have to wait and see if this game is going to be that interesting and that cool. Like I said, the gameplay looked like a lighter God of War. You're obviously not Kratos. You're not going to be throwing enemies around, but she is very acrobatic. You see her jumping in the first few minutes. You see her slashing with this sword, but she instantly loses all of that. So we'll see what weapon she's going to have in this game as it goes on. Now, what I'm wondering is this. Is this a DLC or a spin-off? It sounds like to me it's a spin-off S game, but I don't know if it's going to be the full, 30-hour S game like the God of War games are. I think personally this is going to be a much shorter game. I'd say around the 15-hour mark if I had to guess, because the gameplay doesn't look all that compelling and the story doesn't look all that compelling. It looks like you're kind of locked into this one world, but we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out. Now, what I want to go back to is this Wolverine game. As you can see, it just looks so cool. This is the game I'm most excited for despite the leaks, because I do hope this game performs well. Now, I will say this, I was expecting a little bit of a Naughty Dog reveal, but we didn't get that in this state of play, unfortunately. I think they're trying to focus on the games coming out very soon, and we all have a feeling that Intergalactic is basically another year away. So I've been Videos E2. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed your meal. Thank you. What do you think of the state of play? Let me know below. Thank you. Goodbye.